Ready?
Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to Skye and Evan in the morning. And today Evan has put us through the torture of watching Madam Web. For
Oh
some
my
reason.
gosh.
Why did you do that to us,
I,
Evan? Explain.
it's dead simple because everyone said that it was just a cataclysm, that it was just irredeemably bad, like 1 star, not like just awful, utterly awful. And
I have to agree.
fun, I think I do too. But the funny thing, I actually like Venom, the first Venom, and I saw Venom 2.
I
I
love
think
Venom
those
too.
movies get the I think those movies get the assignment and know not to take themselves
Oh yeah.
seriously. They're very comedy oriented. I never watched Morbius, but I've heard that that movie just took itself too seriously, and this is another that's like it, where, well, I'm not gonna lie, there were so many fucking funny moments, especially towards the third act, but this is a mess. So, what stood out to you the most? Because like everyone knows this movie's
Yeah.
bad.
Well, things
I
that I haven't seen people talk enough about that bother me was because a lot of people say like that there's that one specific shot of Dakota Johnson walking in the street, right? And it's lit and everything. It's like, oh my god, this looks more like a movie than fucking Marvel movies or
well,
whatever. And I'm like, sure, that one shot looks okay. But I thought the cinematography was hideous in this film. Like
I
genuinely,
thought
I thought they just like upped the contrast in the color grading, lit everything to be like golden hour without like any purpose, and it
yeah, like
looked so bad.
sunsetty.
Every single
I
scene looks like it's the sunset. It's the fucking golden hour bullshit. I hated how the movie looked, honestly.
There were a couple of I think the diner looks pretty solid, and like part of that's like
Yeah.
the way the lighting is put together. I think but like the woods, for instance, that was fucking awful. For
Yeah.
one, I
And
couldn't
when
get
she's
over
in
that.
Peru, they
I
clearly are shooting on a green screen as well. It's very funny. Like you
Yeah,
were not in a real
exactly.
place.
They didn't switch locations. We didn't go to Peru just to get like one fucking scene. It's just, oh my God.
Well, it's so funny
Um,
because there's like that I think it's the post credit scene in the first Black Panther that was shot in Brazil because they wanted to have the looking like the rainforest and everything. I'm just like, oh yeah, you just went to the Amazon and shot that. Like, yeah, they're not gonna do that for Madam fucking Web, are they? And to be fair, I linked you a video by V Movies. It's very interesting, and we'll get into the ADR. But a big part of his theory is that the Peru bit of the movie was just like never originally
Added.
part of the story. So like everything is reshoots when they are in Peru, which
Well,
makes sense.
the open. Okay, let's just start from the fucking opening because that was so. I legitimately, like, what is it, 6 minutes? You could have skipped it. You could have cut the mom.
Well, I
We
always
don't
think
care about the
like,
spider people in fucking Peru.
oh,
Just I
oh yeah,
have some other origin, or like it's just,
two
and
things.
focus
First
on her.
off, the fucking spider tribe in Peru is just very
Yeah.
funny, very racist. I thought it was very funny.
Uh,
Secondly, their name is Las Arañas. I don't
Las
know. Yeah,
Arañas,
I don't
right?
know if
Yeah.
you know anything about Spanish, but that literally means the spiders.
The
It's not.
spiders, yes. It's like, it's that obvious. It's nothing clever,
It's
nothing. It's just
nothing. It's
the
just the
spiders.
spiders. It's so funny. I was watching with a friend and she was losing her mind at that. Anyway, my thing
Yeah.
is later on when she's in Peru, right, and she goes into like the water where she was born and everything, she gets like the flashbacks and sees everything that her mom did. And I'm just like, why did we need the opening scene if she's gonna get this information later on? Because then
Well,
it would actually be a reveal once she does that. It's because they are
well,
trying somewhat to be like, oh, see, it's a big reveal because she thought her mother hated her whole life, even though, and I think that's very funny,
well,
even though that was
I
never established in the film until 2 minutes prior.
well, that's the thing. It's like the opening. I'm like, why did she assume that? I'm like, I don't know. Probably because she like went to the middle of the fucking rainforest with like I
8 month pregnant, yeah.
with pregnant. Yeah, apparently like right on the cusp of labor because she had her and like was fine, I guess. But I. I wondered about that, and I guess that's the thing. It's like she went to Peru to save her
Save her,
because like
yeah.
she wasn't gonna
I
be able to
love the
get.
line. It was like,
They
but
needed the med. I'm like,
I don't have a genetic disease. That was amazing. That was my favorite line in the movie. Was it
this scene.
neuromuscular disease? That's it. I don't have a neuromuscular disease because it's so fucking
Like,
funny when she's just like seeing the flashbacks and she's just talking. But I don't have it. Oh my god, she went back to save me. You didn't hate me,
well, yeah,
mom.
she narrates everything. She said she has to say what she feels
It's
because
so fucking funny.
well, and that's the fucking mom. So this is okay. The acting in this scene is so bad. And like, okay,
The acting in the entire
a little
movie is
bit.
bad.
Yeah,
You know.
a little bit of credit for the.
Sorry, you go first.
Just give a little bit of credit in the opening. I do like that she's looking through the spider web, and later on, like Cassie's there on the other
On the other
side,
side,
and, like,
yeah.
communicating with her and all that. But okay, the the way this goes down, where Ezekiel is like taking pictures of shit, and then they find the spider, and then there's like a bunch of people in this like little village they've set up, like a little camp, and he shoots two people, then they run, and then there's like the emotional confrontation when we've known these people for like 3 minutes. And
Yeah.
then it's like, give me the spider. It's like, no, no. It's like, give me. And it's like, and then he shoots her. I'm like, buddy, you couldn't have just clocked her in the face. You couldn't have put the gun away and like, I'm like, what the
And it's so funny
And
because
it's
he
like,
shoots
but we
her
need-
in the stomach,
yeah, in
but
the
she
womb.
dies, and the daughter doesn't. The daughter survives, but she dies.
Yeah,
I was very confused because I was like, wait, how's that gonna work? And they just don't address it.
yeah, her getting shot like higher up in the chest, like in the lung, would have made more sense. But oh my god, it's just that it's so rushed, and all of it is unnecessary. It's just to establish the tribe and to connect to the mom. If you'd cut that out, the movie would have been better. You could
It
have
would've,
opened on
yeah.
Cassie, and you could have the pacing would have been better. And the other thing is the leaving them, because that's what it is. Cassie comes across the girls. We'll get to that, and then they escape in a taxi. Then she leaves them in the woods, and then they
For
go to a
three-
motel
It's so
with a
funny.
normal person.
Well,
yeah,
what
like
I
when
was
they
gonna
avo-
say,
when-
she leaves them for 3 hours, but then when they get to the diner, there's a guy with with a newspaper, and the newspaper has photos of them saying they're missing. It's been 3 hours. It's
the
not even
same
been a
day. Yeah,
day.
exactly. Yes, it's not. Yeah, I laughed so hard at that. I was like, my God. But it's the funny thing of it's probably like a modern ignorance of like anytime there's any news, it's on Twitter and everywhere now. So like
Yeah.
that would be, but back in '03, that would
And
it'd be at
that's just
least
the
a
thing.
day
Why did
before a
you
missing
set the movie
person.
in
Yeah.
03? You could have just set it in 2025. Four.
For nostalgia's sake, because for one, they
Oh,
want
yeah,
this to be like,
toxic.
hey, see, he's born in 2003, and he's like, this is Peter, and he's like, see, and Madam Web will be like, yeah, we're still It's like, guys, you got fucked out of your contract. You can't make Spider-Man movies, so you're pissing about pretending to make Spider-Man movies. That's literally what Sony is fucking doing.
Yeah.
And these movies, what you see is what you fucking get. Why does Peter Parker need to be in this movie? Why couldn't Ben Parker and just have been dating May? No, you don't need to have him born in this movie. Just I'm fine with Ben Parker being a character. Like, why not?
I mean, he's the best
He's a
character in the
paramedic, sure.
movie, which is 99.99% because of Adam Scott.
Yeah.
Because he's
Well,
just a
and I laugh
charismatic
'cause-
actor who was doing a lot with the little he was given. So
the way that this is structured, I cracked up because I'm like, they go to the woods. I'm like, why are they in the woods? I'm like, well, to stay low, right? I'm like, because he's got cameras everywhere. I'm like, they don't know that though. I'm like, what? Why wouldn't you just go to a motel? Why are you assuming that you have to go to like the fucking woods? And then they go back obviously there, and then they crash a taxi. And then
Into the
after
diner,
that, the cops are not on their ass for one, and they go to a motel and they park that taxi.
yeah, she drives at that. I remember when we were watching the Utopia remake, and one of the things that annoyed me so much is that they
Yes.
never switched cars, and they just kept. It's a
No.
taxi without its license plates. Like, it's identifiable. You could just put it out like in what's it called? I forgot when you
APB.
put out a certain. Yeah, that's it. It's so stupid. APB, yeah.
But
Yeah.
But then she leaves because they threw the Peru thing in. Then she needs to leave again.
Yeah,
And I
she
was just
just
like,
flies to
why didn't you
Peru for like a bit in the
a
second
week?
act. I don't know.
Like she has to leave for a week and just Ben, I guess Ezekiel that just laid low enough. And my big thing, like I talk about rewrites like when you do these things all the time, but I'm like, it's simple. Why didn't she just go to Ben right away? From the very beginning when they escaped, rather than go into the woods, rather than go into a motel, go to him. You need someone else if you're gonna be out and about. And
Yeah, and she trusts Ben. It would
the
make perfect sense.
but even the excuses she needs to leave. When she leaves the first time, she just goes back and looks at like her mom's journal because that was really important. I don't it's so funny. I was just like I don't even know where to start. Like this is a mess and
Look,
I
look.
don't know how much of this is on the filmmakers and or if this is just complete studio like Suicide Squad itis.
I think it's probably both. I don't think the original script was good. I don't think the reshoots helped it either.
Well,
Um,
the writers, Matt Matt Sazma and Burke Sharpless, yeah, they wrote Dracula Untold, The
mm.
Last Witch Hunter, Gods of Egypt, Power Rangers, Morbius, and Madam Web. And this is
What
the
a
thing
filmography.
this is so fucking funny on their Wikipedia. It says, are writers best known for writing films together after box office successes like Dracula Untold, The Last Witch Hunter. Um, they wrote Gods of Egypt, Morbius, and Madam Web, all of which became box office bombs and received negative reception from critics. I'm like, that's so fucking funny. They made successful, just like slop before it was. Have you seen Dracula Untold?
I have not.
It's okay. But it's a bad movie before bad movies were just like not worth it, not even worth the time. And so like, but that's the kind of movie they made, like The Last Witch Hunter and Gods of Egypt, and then their movies just started failing. But I'm like, I don't know. I always love that when there's writers who are just like, why do they keep rehiring these people? And I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, I do not imagine the script was very good if they were the
Yeah.
people that were at the center of it.
I okay. So, this is something I wanted to talk about. And I think an underrated part of why this movie is bad is that I think Sydney Sweeney, and this is not a judgment on her character, even though I hate her as a person. I think she was entirely completely miscast. She's playing the part of like this, like Patsy, this look,
Nerdy little.
everything,
Well,
like oh super, like super afraid and insecure and whatnot, and like super innocent, naive. When she's always played the part of someone who is more of like a rebel or like super popular, like I mean,
yeah,
obviously I'm thinking
flashy,
of
showy,
Euphoria, but you know what I mean,
Pepsi.
like
Yeah.
yeah. um and I kept thinking like is she, like I don't even think it's like her fault. She was just
Well,
miscast because it's like
I
this is not the part she should be playing. It should be,
well,
I don't know. It should be someone who I compared it to Alison Brie in Community. She plays Annie, and I thought like that's the perfect
yeah,
part for like
yeah.
how Annie is in Community. But
Well,
they're using it for Sydney Sweeney, who just like does not know how to play that type of part well.
no, no, it's okay. She has glasses. They gave her glasses,
Yeah,
so the glasses make her awkward.
so stupid.
I think
And she has a
I
very
think
bad
all
wig,
of
by the
them.
way. Her.
Yeah, I think I think all of them were miscast, honestly, because for one, there's three of them. I think again, with just simple rewrites, make it one. One Spider Woman is what Ezekiel sees as killing him. Classic save the kid Terminator kind of a thing.
Mhm.
There's a wraith out to get the kid. We got to save the kid. Simple. Instead, there's three, and all of them are basically the same person. Yeah, I got like mommy, daddy issues. I'm basically a like loner, live by myself, and I, you know, they trauma dump like three
Yeah.
times, and
It
yet
is
there's
so
no
funny with
development
Isabella
between them.
Merced's character because she is supposed to be like a nerd. She literally has a shirt that says "I eat meth for
I
breakfast."
math, but
I I love so much of that. She's supposed
But
to be a
yeah, she
nerd,
wasn't.
but she's Isabella Marseille. She isn't a nerd. She's
Well, yeah,
cool.
they got people who would look good in the spider spandex. I think
Yeah,
that
I
might
don't
have
know. It
dictated
was
the
so stupid to
choices,
me
which
because I
is
was like, she in my mind she plays the rebel. Like she's not supposed to be playing like
yeah.
the nerd, the one who does everything. But and she doesn't do things by the book.
Well,
Like her character is completely
well,
undefined.
she
She's
was.
just like Isabella Mercedes
Yeah,
like fucking personality, and sometimes she mentions
yeah.
math.
That the actors more than like the characters, because the
Yeah,
characters are just so thin that all they really have is their own charisma. It's like
yeah.
what you were saying about Adam
Adam
Scott. Like
Scott,
they
yeah.
don't
He's the
say
best
many
character
things,
because he's Adam
so
Scott, not because he's a character.
yeah. And I feel so fucking bad for Dakota Johnson, man, because she keeps I mean, 50 Shades of Grey. I'm like, I'm sure the money spends all the same, but is she the fact that she got cast in this movie and that she was just given such poor direction, because I've seen her give good performances before, and she tends to play very sarcastic, like tough characters, but I don't know.
She has a
Maybe she just
thing
needs to
that
work with better
annoys me, and
directors.
I think every movie with her that I watch, I need to like it takes me a while to get used to her because of the way she talks is very breathy and very like low and like calm, and it
She
seems like
Yeah,
she's trying to
she talks
hypnotize you.
softly, like
Yeah.
yeah, like she's going, and that works so well in Suspiria. That's the
Mm.
thing.
Oh yeah, Suspiria, yeah.
That's a performance that I love,
I watched The
and
Materialist
hilariously,
recently, and it's like it's a fine movie, but it's just like that whole thing. It takes me a while to buy into her performance with that because it always feels like she's acting. You know what I mean? Because like sometimes when you're watching actors, you forget that they're
yeah,
actors, and with her, I always think, yeah, no, she is acting. And then takes me a long time to buy into it when it's a good movie. You can imagine how it is with a bad movie like this, where she clearly didn't care.
yep. It's the funny thing as well, what you were saying, that like soft like voice and that. I'm like, I don't think she's necessarily a bad casting from Adam Webb. And
Mm.
the ending with her in the chair, and it's cringe how it's executed. But I because did you ever by chance watch Spider-Man the animated series when you were a kid?
I think I watched a few episodes. Yeah.
Oh man, I grew up with that show, and Madam Web is a character in that, and that's probably the most prominent adaptation of Madam Web as a character. And Stan Lee's wife actually played her, and she did a good job of it too. She has that really good like old woman, but like still commands respect energy to her. And Madam Web was always just like a mentor figure. That's her character. She's like Yoda, she's the character who gives advice to Spider-Man that like helps him see his path. Usually there'll be a dark moment for his character. He'll be at the like he'll feel he's at the end of his rope, and then like smoke will go all around him, and Madam Web like woo, she's there. And I I don't know anything about Madam Web like young. I don't know like her backstory or like what they've done with her in the modern comics, if like, but
As far as I
it's
know
so
from that
weird.
Nando V movies video I watched, it seems like Madam Web in this film is nothing like she is in the comics. And like they even
I,
say, like a lot of Madam Web fans say, like she as a character does not make any sense without Spider-Man. So
well, yeah, I mean that is the problem. It's the same thing with Venom.
yeah,
Venom doesn't make any sense without Spider-Man, because the whole origin of Venom is built around like the symbiote having been with Peter, and
yeah,
then like Peter leaving and the betrayal, that. But Venom has basically become the most popular of Spider-Man's rogues gallery at this point. I think he
yeah.
beats the Green Goblin and Doc Ock. Venom is seen as Spider-Man's arch nemesis because it's been adapted so many times. Um, but yeah, they tried to make a Venom movie without it, and it's like what you see is what you get. Like they just made the symbiote goofy, and there's hundreds of symbiotes in those movies. It's just Venom doing Venom things, basically inviting heads off. And I'm like, and again, they understood the assignment, and I find Venom hilarious. I find it
Yeah.
a very entertaining movie because it doesn't take
But
itself
part of what I
seriously.
love
But
about Venom 2 is that it's 90 minutes long. It flies
yes,
by. They're just having fun, and
the
fucking
book.
Woody Harrelson playing Carnage. Like fuck
I
yeah.
like the ending, one of the moments that I was cracking up in the theater. I watched the movie in theaters. When he's like the boyfriend is on the railing in the third act is like pouring gasoline and lighting it on Carnage, and it's like because fire affects them. I'm like, they do shit like that that doesn't make any sense, but it's just so funny. But yeah, this movie doesn't have that entertainment. The one exception was the ambulance crash. That caught me off guard. I was like, oh, I'm like, I was so like, it came out of nowhere because I was like, what's happening? And then like the crash threw up like, and then if you pause the shot, like Cassie, what was your plan? Like, how did you? Why didn't you just crash into the? She like went through seemingly like a parking garage to crash through the side, and then it only hits Ezekiel because he jumps, and then
Oh yeah, he
somehow
jumps.
he survives the
Yeah.
fall.
I don't know why he jumped into the fucking ambulance. It's so
Yes,
stupid.
and you would. It's such a huge risk of hitting the car as well. I just that was funny. Some of the third act was funny, but all in all, I just my big thing is I couldn't get attached to any of the characters. Even just that's another thing Venom gets right is like Eddie and Venom, like it's nothing like the comics, but it's still entertaining, and there's still a dynamic between the two characters. But
Mhm.
in this, there's just no chemistry between everyone. Everyone's just thrown in the car, and no one. You compared the taxi thing to Utopia, like it really does feel like American Utopia. It's just like bunch of characters who don't really like each other, argue, don't like, and but they're stuck together, and they have to be in the movie, and it's yeah.
Right. So I don't know where to go. This is a weird movie to discuss. Cuz like
I feel like we
I
could be
yeah.
here all day.
It's
If we
we
want
com-
to add,
I compared it to Deadpool and Wolverine cuz at least I had more fun. But with Deadpool and Wolverine I could see where the movie could be good. This is just slop. Like that is slop. Okay. That is slop, but that has a basis in two other movies that actually built character
yeah,
and obviously very good, the two main actors to play their roles well and everything. This movie
the
is just
fight
like
in the
nobody
car, that's like a
involved
decent
cares.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the performances as well, like that was something that Deadpool and Wolverine had on its side, but
Yeah.
this feels like a contractual obligation, basically. It's
Yeah.
like it's just it needed to happen. And that's the thing about so many of the Sony Spider-Man movies. They want to preserve the rights. That's why they keep making these. But yeah, it's a nightmare. And and by the way, to add insult to injury, I mentioned that I recommended this because I recommended ambulance when I passed the EMT,
Oh
and I
yeah,
recommended
I
this
was
because
gonna
I just
ask you
started
this.
working. Oh my God. So for one, I actually give them credit for the CPR. That was actually like there's details that were like missed. There's like a little bit more to explain, but all in all, that was actually pretty good. And see, I low-key might make a video about movie CPR because it even before I was EMT trained was just a lifeguard. Like I cringe at so many movies like CPR that's just like awful and like and they don't even try and then they're like we lost him. It's like but the CPR lesson was fine, but damn near everything else was just like completely cataclysmic. And one of
I
them
did
was
think
when
like when she was like going into the car, right? And like the guy was stuck upside down. I was like, I don't think you should be doing that this way. I don't know.
no,
It's just
I
it just it just intuition because I don't know anything about EMT. Obviously, it's your job, but I don't know. I was a little like, what are we doing here? Why are you going full on full body
yeah, that
inside
like
the car?
teetering on the edge. Like I haven't like had to do a call like that yet, and I probably won't until I get more training. But I scene safety and personal safety is always emphasized in EMS. So like I would imagine that you would focus on making sure that there was safe before you start like getting into the car.
Yeah,
But again, it's just that obligatory. Did did that even do anything?
yeah. Well,
Did it
when
like
the car
unlock her
falls,
powers?
yeah,
I guess like
the car falls into the
why did
water. It unlocks her powers. She starts seeing
because she
scenes from the future.
drowned?
Yeah,
She's
I
near death
guess. I mean, her heart stopped, right? So
I guess that's why that's the
apparently she
origin
was
story. She
submerged for 3 minutes. So
drowned. Yeah, which isn't that bad. I remember hearing that. I'm like, dude, if you I did you get her out of the water and start CPR? Because that's actually pretty. The standard is 90 seconds. If someone is like drowning, you're supposed to get them out of the water within 90 seconds to get like that's best case scenario if you can get them out and get like breath in their lungs within 90 seconds. That's the deal. But I don't know. That whole thing. So this is the other thing that I laughed at. The blood he takes her vitals and they're off. He says 79 over 55 and but the monitor they're using is a pulse ox and they're acting like that's the thing. And then at the end of the movie, her BP is a steady 79 over 55, like it was before. Like the implication is that like that's just her blood pressure now, because I guess she's like a fish, because she.
no, it wasn't her blood pressure. It was her O2 levels.
Well, that's the thing. They were treating
Because
those
I was confused because I was
interchangeably.
like, wait, no, the
Yeah.
blood pressure? What do you mean? Like it made no sense. Like it made no sense. No blood pressure is that low unless you're like in
No.
need of medical assistance. I was like, no,
Well,
no,
that's what he
that makes no
says. He says
sense.
like, yeah, if your blood pressure is 79, that is really, really bad.
Really
And
low.
that's he's saying you need to go to a doctor, but and then they brush it
No,
aside.
yeah, she
So
says no, it's
I
it's fine. It's 89. Like my O2 is 89. It's like, oh, so it was O2 levels?
yeah.
I guess.
And even that's bad too. You should probably be on supplemental if you're like that low, but needless to say, for the most part, this movie does not get paramedic advice. Quite entertaining regardless, and I did laugh. The third act is actually I have tentative ideas for a sequel to a screenplay that I'm writing, and the third act was actually structured kind of similarly. There's an ambulance chase at the end, and I was laughing because I'm like, huh. And the character in ambulance actually reminded me a little of a character that I'm writing who's an EMT, so I
To be fair,
Smidge of
if you are
inspiration there.
gonna take inspiration from, Ambulance, I think that character from Isa Gonzalez, I think she's a pretty interesting
Yeah.
character to
She was the standout of that
yeah,
movie for sure. It
yeah.
was, but you know what? I think it's probably safe to say you and I are not recommending this movie.
No. Well,
Unless
okay,
you get some
look,
booze.
if you are not sober and or you are watching it with friends, very much
Yeah,
recommend. Very funny movie. If not, then
good one to have with like a group of 10. This is
yeah.
the perfect movie to just have fun with because you're not
Yeah,
gonna
we
get
didn't
anything
even
out of
get
this.
into it. The ADR,
Oh my God, yes. Oh God.
like
So many of
90% of the
Ezekiel's lines.
dialogue in this film, like basically all of Ezekiel's lines are ADR, even when his mouth is on screen, and even when a lot of the actors' mouths are on screen, like either
Yeah.
they don't say anything or what they're saying doesn't match. Is so funny. It was clearly ADR. Like the audio quality was different, and there were points where like the ADR was like super shit as well. Like the audio was muffled. Like there was a
Yeah.
lot of really, really bad audio in this film.
It affects the characters too. It's the thing. Like I have you ever seen The Snowman or
Uh,
heard of it?
don't think so.
There's a really good video by Dan Olson that breaks it down. I actually watched that movie in theaters. There is a ton of ADR in that movie. They lean on it like a crutch, and one of the reasons why is that Val Kilmer is in it, and he had the condition with his throat, and so they needed to replace a lot of his lines because of that, because he couldn't actually speak his lines. But the thing about ADR is like damn near every movie has it. There's going to
Hmm.
be like takes that are bad. There's going to be things that need to be replaced, but ADR should be something that is used to add material, like strengthen a scene. Maybe a throwaway line that's just like slapped in there to like maybe establish like that a character will be in a certain location or why a certain thing has happened. Just a strengthener. But movies that use it as a crutch that like rely on it.
Yeah, well, it just shows how
A
much of the movie
large.
was decided on. in post, and it wasn't while they were
Yeah.
shooting. Because if you use that much ADR, you're replacing like huge chunks of dialogue that are actually in the movie. So you're basically just changing your plot post like after the fact. And that's what I mean about that Nando V movies video. He basically like he came to the conclusion that the story is completely different, and that's because they were they originally wanted to include Spider-Man in this film. I think it was Tom Holland Spider-Man that was going to be in this film. And they did the
Wait, but
previews and everything for it. There's like concept art with Tom Holland Spider-Man. So and it
oh
seems
my
like they
God.
changed that. I assume due to like rights reasons, and they had to change like a lot of the movie after the fact because of.
Legitimately, that might be why Baby Peter is in the movie because they need it to be like Spider-Man. And again, these movies have to be Spider-Man. They have to technically be Spider-Man movies. They can't just not be it. Otherwise, they'll lose the rights. So that maybe they added that, and they definitely added the Peru shit. That was not in the original
Yeah.
script. My
Which is
God.
just that fucking cave scene was so funny. The fucking responsibility line, I laughed so much.
Yes. Oh my God. It's just it's
Once
that's
you
the
take
thing.
on the
It's like I've
responsibility, great power will
but
come.
by by the way, fuck that line. That was in the original Spider-Man. That's not the line. That's not the end all, and I'm tired of hearing it. I cringed when it was said in Spider-Man No Way Home when they clearly went out of their way to not say it. And they went out of their way to not, but I'm just like, oh my God. It's just so associated with Spider-Man. And it's such a great scene in the original
Yeah.
'01 Spider-Man with Peter and Ben. So oh. I this is a funny movie where it's just like it's there are movies like Suicide Squad or like The Snowman that I mentioned that are just is it really that bad? And the answer is kind of yes. There's the odd good shot, there's the odd like scene or moment with acting which works.
There are a few
Um
funny lines of dialogue. I assume a lot of the
yeah,
good ones are like probably from like ad-libbing, just because it feels like it, like especially
uh,
with Ben as a character, just because it's like Adam Scott is so charismatic and so funny. I just kind of like, okay, I assume that was what he came up with and not like in the script, because that actually like makes sense in context. I don't know.
yeah.
It's a
By the
movie that
way,
barely feels like a movie. Like I wouldn't. This is like War of the Worlds, where it doesn't feel like a movie. I guess it feels more like a movie
yeah.
than War of the Worlds because it's, an actual movie, and that film is just like
Well,
entirely in fucking a computer screen. So
Well, seriously, the Snowman, like I said, I'd recommend checking out Dan Olson's video. That movie, like the director has said a chunk of the script was not shot. They didn't finish the film. And they had to just try to put something together in the editing bay. And I'm like, what you see is what you get. It's unfinished.
mm.
And like this is another example of that. Like it's clear that the production issues just made it so that there was damn near nothing you could do to save it. And yeah, it's a mess. I I want to throw, by the way, just something random to throw out. I love Camera Girl. I love that Ezekiel just has a girl who just sits in front of a computer and just has all of the security cameras and all of the police reports. It just is just always there, just always knows everything. Like, who are you? Like, what is your deal? Like, what is
It's
she's
the
Camera
the
Girl.
the chair, the chair guy. Like they say in
Yeah,
Homecoming, I'm the chair guy.
guy in the chair.
Guardian chair, yeah. It's they hint at giving her character by having her like side eye some of the stuff he
Midge.
wants to do, but like, hey, you want to murder some children? That's not cool. But then that goes nowhere, so I don't know. Again, probably just cut for time or whatever, or
Yeah.
for reshoots they it needed to focus on other things. So I don't know. It's just funny. Very funny
Yep.
movie. I everything about it fascinates me.
Yeah, it's certainly I want to check out that Nando. This is one of those movies, like there's a lot of movies like this where it's like I almost wish someone would make a movie about it, or that there's just been a documentary. Like you want like
Well, it's
the
some
documentary
there's a
style of like
joke
the
in
Star Wars prequels.
there's a joke in in Community that Hearts of Darkness is way better than Apocalypse Now, and
Ah,
this is kind of what I like think of when I think of that. Like a documentary about this movie would be so much better than the movie itself. Like that would actually like be
yeah.
amazing. I wish there was one.
Well, I'm just so curious, like how it came about is the whole deal. Because man, it's just yeah. Whatever happened, it resulted in quite the mess, and I don't even know what's next for Sony Spider-Man. Like, hold on.
I think they canceled the Sonyverse. I don't think they're doing anything else.
Did they officially cancel it?
I think so. I think they officially said Craven was the last Sonyverse movie.
Oh, that's wait. Was Craven? Craven was after this,
yeah.
right?
Craven
Or-
was 2025.
Yeah. No one knows. No one. Oh my
No,
god.
not a single person in the
I-
world has seen Craven the Hunter. Not even
Well,
Aaron Taylor
I saw-
Johnson.
I just saw the Rhino and I was like, nope. Nope. They went with that. Like that's the design of the Rhino, and I've seen that little grunt. God. Rest in the fucking ground. Like I would have pulled the trigger myself, Sony Spy. Other than Venom, I, you're fine. Everything else, fucking
Well, the
get rid
Venom
of it,
trilogy,
wannabes.
even though 3 is a little boring, like it is so much fun and it understands the assignment so much better than the other one, and it's so funny.
Yeah. But as for the rest, it's quite ridiculous. So, would you recommend Madam Web, Skye?
I don't think I would, Evan. I really hard to say. I wouldn't.
I I do not think I would as well. And legitimately, I tried to be fair on this. I went into it with open eyes. I'm just like, you know what? You can always be surprised, but this is a fucking nope. So, Skye, what do you have in mind for a recommendation?
Right. So this is the thing, Evan. We are now officially in December, which is funny to say because this is the second episode of December when it comes out, but we
Yeah.
record these usually a week in advance. So yeah. So we started off December with Saw, very Christmassy, and then we did Madam Web, very Christmassy too. So I'm gonna pick another Christmas movie. It is Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt.
Yes, an actual Christmas movie, Christmas horror movie. It's gonna be interesting. It's 1972 film.
72?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of interesting things, and I've always wanted to check it out. So yeah, Tales from the Crypt by Freddie Francis,
I do not think I've ever. It's on my watch list, but I don't.
starring Peter Cushing.
I have never heard of this. Wow.
Clearly,
Oh,
you have it if
seriously?
it's on your watch list. But yeah,
Ah. Wait, and Roy Dotrice is in it? Wait, what the fuck?
it's one of the classic
He's got a
horror
big role.
films. Yeah, it's a classic one.
All right. I'm not looking anything up. Let's
Yeah.
fucking go.
All I
All
know
right.
is it's Christmas related and it is horror, and that's what I wanted. I literally Googled horror Christmas movies to
It's
recommend for the
actually
podcast.
funny. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a quintessential horror movie, which is technically a Christmas movie that a lot of people say is like a the actual original slasher. And I've seen it. It's actually pretty good, but that
Silent
could be
Night,
one that
Deadly
would be
Night, you
interesting to
mean?
recommend. No, Black Christmas.
Black
originally.
Christmas.
But,
Okay, okay.
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't. That was one that I was considering recommending, but I think the one I'm gonna recommend next is another Christmassy movie. Is not that. All
Gotta think
right.
about my pick. All right.
Yeah, gotta make it Christmassy, Evan. Tis the season.
Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, Tales from the Crypt. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching, folks. Don't watch Madam Web. Just you don't have to. Okay, there's no need. Morbid curiosity is not a good enough reason. Just don't. But
Yep. But I can now say that I've watched it.
yeah,
And
another
it
movie
is
to
that
tick off
bad.
the
They-
watch list.
They were not lying when they said it
Yeah.
was bad.
Oh,
Uh,
Christ. All right. But yeah, we'll catch y'all next week for Tales from the Crypt. And yeah, Merry December, folks. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Merry December.